Hello, my name is Wayne. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing another Wurm Online video, and more specifically I'm going to take a look at a few RDOs. What is an RDO? RDO stands for redeed opportunity. In Wurm, whenever someone abandons their deed, it becomes available again for anyone else that perhaps wants to redeed over it. In fact, an abandoned deed has appeal for a few reasons. One, for that reason, because someone else may want to claim it. It's especially useful if someone has already put in a lot of work and effort into perhaps flattening the land, or maybe building a bridge or connecting it to a highway or something like that. There is also some appeal for archaeologists, for people using their archaeology skills to then go to the deed or the abandoned deed and check it out. And also for recycling purposes, because quite a few people do like to wander around and look for any goods that may have been abandoned along with the deeds. I am an avid recycler myself. As a matter of fact, if you look right down here at all of these BSBs, I have just under 10,000 dirt. And that's dirt that I have looted from abandoned claims. Dirt may not be, the prized loot that some people are looking for, but in my case it is, because I have a little project in mind and I'm going to need about 50,000 dirt for that. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the RDOs. So I have 3 of them that I want to show you. I've been thinking of doing videos like this for a while now, because it seems like I keep running into people, either in-game or on the forums, that are expressing interest or help in finding a good spot to settle. And funnily enough, there's quite a few of these individuals near me. So I am on the, let me reposition this. I'm on the Xanadu server, and this is Hammer Lake. And I am an authorized real estate agent for the Hammer Lake region. Okay, not really. That's not a mechanic in Wurm. It's just a little bit of RP. But we'll pretend like I am the only authorized real estate agent. Let me zoom in a little bit here. I'm not familiar with all of Xanadu, but I am very familiar with the area around Hammer Lake. This is where I am. And there are RDOs throughout the lake. There are also a few pristine areas that have not yet been deeded or were never deeded. If you are an individual that wants to start from scratch, Xanadu is a good server because it's very large and there are still plenty of wilds remaining. So this being my location, I certainly can't cover all of these RDOs in one video, so I'm going to have to split this up into several videos. So today, I'm only going to check out this small area here, because there are 3 abandoned deeds up here that are ready for redeeding if anyone is interested. So rather than you having to make a special trip out to check it out, I'm going to do it for you. Let me see. I don't know why I'm still right-clicking to do this. I guess it's force of habit when I've been intending or trying to remind myself to use this, because it seems a lot faster. All right, so we're just going to head right on down the road here. Oh, I was in CA help, and for a minute I thought someone locally was calling for help. A common rookie mistake is to ask for help for guards within the CA help. You can set a bind for that, by the way. The new server is launching in less than 1 week. In less than a week. I remember thinking maybe a month ago that I hated having to wait for a whole month to check it out. And now all of a sudden, nearly a month has passed. I'm not sure if I will stick with that server or not. I'm definitely going to check it out. And, oh, what's happened here? This used to all be lawn. Does lawn decay back to just wild grass over time? because I thought that was not the case. The individual that owns this deed, I've never seen him or her. And this was claimed 2017 or earlier. And I don't know if they ever log in or if maybe they just paid for a lot of upkeep up front. But I have a sneaky suspicion that someone that lives on the lake here has an alt, and that they like that spot and they're just sort of holding on to it just in case they decide to develop it further. There's about maybe a dozen people that live on this lake. They're rarely all logged in at once. Maybe a few are logged in at a time. So we're coming up on the first RDO. This is it right here. I actually considered settling here when I first started in 2017. Quite a few others have been here to check it out, but no one's ever redeeded it. So it still sits here. It's not a very popular build, I guess. I think the reason for it is because people that want to have a deed next to the water want to be down on the water, not raised up above the water. I mean, maybe not everyone, because there are some people that build this way, obviously, because someone has built it this way. But I guess, in the last few years, it's just the type of build that no one has really expressed too much interest in. There is a lot here, though, like all of this clay, for example. Tons of clay. You'll never have a shortage of clay if you were to move in here. You can see there are some hedges up there. Most of them are gone now, either chopped down by others. There's a few fences left, but there are no buildings. The buildings are long gone. There is a mine, though. The mine is different. I should mention that from time to time, I think there is a squatter in here, because I noticed things moved around and some activity. It could be a local that just uses this mine. I don't know, but I get the feeling that there's someone that perhaps is not premium and has been living in here for a while. I don't know if they just don't want to settle here, or if they just need materials from the mine, or what the story is. I've not seen anyone here in a while, actually, though. But every once in a while, I think that squatter returns. By the way, a squatter, in Wurm Online, I call anyone that is not settling or claiming land to deed on a squatter. A squatter is not necessarily someone that hasn't paid for premium, because you can have a premium account and still build wherever you want without claiming the land. So as you can see, there's a guard tower up here as well. And this is a very interesting design here. I guess they wanted to hide the mine entrance from the water area. I guess that was the intention there. There is some flattened area up here, and it goes back a little ways. Not too bad. I think by some people's standard, this would be considered small. I think it's kind of a medium. Some more flattened land over here, and also behind these hedges, you can see there's a few fences over here. Someone, I think, built these recently, because all of the original fences are long gone. By the way, recently in Wurm Online is different than other games. Recently in Wurm Online usually means 3 months, maybe even 6 months or less. There's a highway right here. It's a working highway. And you can see that the highway does connect to the deed right there. It's just missing a waystone to make it official. So this is the first deed we're looking at. And I guess that's it. It has plenty of clay. It has a mine. Everything's been flattened already. If you want to be closer to the water, you could do that. Let me go back. Let me mention this real quick. As a new player, when I was searching for a location, I was intentionally looking for a redeed opportunity, because I wasn't that experienced. I wasn't sure how to terraform the land like this. I only knew the very basics, and it just seemed like a lot of work. And upon finding this deed, I remember thinking I did like it, but I didn't like that it was so high. And I had no idea that at the time that it was actually a feasible idea. Well, I don't know how feasible, but possible to simply lower most of this down so that it's closer to the water level. Of course, now it's been years later, and I realize that you can pretty much terraform the land around the settlement in any way you want. It's just a matter of, I guess, motivation and time. But something to consider if you are a new player. Actually, I think returning players are asking for help in finding a good location, more so than new players, because new players are just trying to figure out how to play the game. They may not even know enough to realize what to look for in terms of a good deed. And yes, you can deed anywhere there isn't already a deed present, as long as it's not too close to another deed. But, okay, just had a little minor interruption there. But a good deed opportunity is a different story. What is a good deed? Well, I guess that's a matter of preference. I like being near the water. I think most people like building on or near the water, whether it's shoreline that you see at a lake or coastline on the ocean. On Xanadu, however, there are tons of wild, still mostly away from the water, and there's a lot of water. You can see right here on Xanadu, there's a lot of water. And that's probably a smart design for the island because people do love to be on the water. It also helps for making use of making use of trade to get to people faster. Of course, nowadays that's being face to face isn't really such a big deal because there's multiple ways to trade with others. I should mention that if you are interested in the Hammer Lake area, it's near Linton. Linton is the starting town near Hammer Lake, and there are several ways in and out. There's a canal up here. You'll see it in this video that goes all the way up and connects to this lake. There is another canal over, I think it's right about here, and this canal connects to this lake. There's another canal that connects over here to the ocean. There's another canal that connects here to this smaller Hermit Lake. And in Hermit Lake, there's another canal right here that connects to the ocean. And I'm trying to think if I forgot any canals. I don't think so. So, point I'm making is you're certainly not locked in this lake with any boats if you decided to live here. There's plenty of ways in and out. This deed is, what do we have here? No longer grass but dirt. I think that means someone did that. They either cultivated those tiles or maybe they were packed and then became unpacked. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm always looking out for little changes like that. Someone recently claimed this redeed opportunity, and I've never actually seen them. This was about maybe 3 months back. And it's Owl's Nest Abbey, and I believe that this is his boat. These boats were already here. But anyway, I have seen 2 people move in and move out of here since 2017, and now there's someone new, but I've not seen them in the game, so I don't know. You really can't tell if someone's about to lose their deed, though, simply by looking at how often they're logged in, because you can pay in advance for a deed into years in advance if you want to. Let me back up a little bit here because we're at the second deed and I want to mention something. So it's kind of hard to tell with all these trees, but this is the second deed. It's actually quite large, and we have this highway here, but as you can see, there's only single tile, so it's no longer a highway here. However, this road gets blocked off anyway. So this is not the highway, but the highway system is here, and the highway does extend up and all the way around this deed, and it's pretty large. And look at these, look at all of this work that went into creating this highway. This is a lot of surface mining here. You can see where the cliff was, and probably continued on down like that, or something like that. That would have been a lot of work, though, at least for me. Maybe if you have really high skills, maybe it's not a big deal. Now, if someone was interested in taking over this abandoned deed, they would have to consider this claim over here. Actually, are we within the perimeter? No, we're in the lands of Wurm. So we're not within this individual's perimeter. There's a settlement token. So I'm not sure how large. He has to go out a minimum of 5 tiles this way, and then another 5 tile perimeter. So what is that? Maybe there as a minimum size? And then if you were to claim, you also have to have a minimum of a 5 tile perimeter. So I think you could just barely squeeze in a deed here, including this road, without overlapping with this claim over here. But you would certainly have to investigate that just to be sure. So there are 2 roads here. And I remember when this deed was completely built up and surrounded by stone walls, and you couldn't get in. And my complaint was I would come this way, and but I could only get to, like, maybe, I can't remember now. There was a certain point. I think maybe it was up to here. And then that's as far as you could get on a cart, because fences, there was a fence here and you couldn't get in. Anyway, let me head up here. So I consider this to be sort of a terrace deed. The terraces are not as extreme of a slope as on my deed, but they're still there, and there are still multiple levels with multiple flattened areas. As you can see, it's quite large. There's also a road back here, and there's a highway that we were on earlier that completely encircles the deed. These low stone walls are all that's left of the original fences that were here. Do take note of the wagon and those 2. There's a boat here, and then also a rowing boat down there as well. Oops, a little bit of lag. If I can actually highlight that one, and the other one is hidden. It's down here somewhere. So if anyone were to move in here, you would probably want to put in a support ticket and ask a mod to move the wagon and the boats for you. This was originally all pens for mostly horses. As a matter of fact, I have 2 horses from this deed. If the owner ever comes back and you would like your white horses back, just let me know. I'll be happy to return them. They have served me well all this time. I put them on cart duty. As you can see, there's a guard tower here, and lots of various levels that are already flattened. This is a nice deed. I would live here myself, but at the time that I joined, this was a claimed settlement, and so there was no question about ever being able to move into here. And up here, I believe, is the mine. I think it's over here. Yes. A nice, spacious, or well, large mine, I guess you could say. There used to be a mine door here, but it's all decayed as well. And multiple roads leading into this deed. Lots of ways in. And here's the original highway that we were on back when we were down there. And I'll just run around once so you can kind of get an idea of the size. Another road leading into the deed. Of course, you wouldn't have to claim all of it. If you didn't want all of that space, you could just claim a smaller segment. This road literally leads to nowhere. And down here, the highway leading to the right continues to wrap around the deed, and those are the low stone walls that we were at just a few minutes ago. This road leads to a mine and really nothing else. All right, so this was the second deed. If you were looking to loot it, yeah, it's been picked clean pretty much. I'd be surprised if you could find anything. I mean, even the junk has been taken at this point because it's sat empty for so long. Usually the good stuff goes first, and then over time, you know, some other items will get picked up, and then when literally there's nothing left, then you know lots of people have stepped foot on it, or even the containers have decayed. This road right here leads up to another mine. But I think the mine has collapsed. I'm not sure who used that mine. It could be whoever had this deed or this abandoned deed down here. And right over here is the final and third RDO. It's not as large as that one, and it's completely encircled with, well, not encircled. It has sort of this, I don't know what you call it, background bridges. This bridge, and there's another bridge on the other side. I think the reason they put the bridges there was in order to have connect the deed to the highway system without having the highway go into the deed. But you can get a better view over here. Let me switch the UI off so you can get a better view of how these bridges were built all the way up. And then right here is a mine entrance, and that mine leads all the way up through this mountain and then breaks through onto the other side. I'm not sure. Let's see. We're about here. We're about right here. It goes through this mountain and then it actually breaks through here. However, by now I think it's probably has a collapse point in there, so you would have to consider that. As you can see, there's a lot of enchanted grass. Getting quite a bit of lag. You know, there is a new host for Xanadu, and at first it seemed better, and now at times it seems even worse. So I'm not really sure what to think of the new host. I think it's a consistency issue. I think at times it's better than it was before, and at times it was worse than it was before. So I'm not sure what the consistency issue is, but I'd almost rather have consistently a little bit of lag than consistently sometimes no lag and then later on tons of lag. Anyway, that'll be my only gripe. I'll try to make that my only gripe for now. As you can see, there are a few items here. You'd probably want to have some mod move that. And there's also a wagon here, and there's also a cart here that you'd probably want to have a moderator move if you decided to live here. It's pretty nice. I think that for some people it's too small. For me, it would be okay. If I didn't already have my claim, I would seriously consider this spot. I think these were some of the original fences that were placed here too. The only structures that are left really, unless these signs are considered structures too. I'm not entirely sure. Path of Knowledge tile right here, if you're a meditator and you want that path. And right here, you are connected directly to a canal. This is both a foot canal and a boat canal that leads all the way through the lake. And I mentioned it once before. We are right about here, and it connects right about there. Something like that. Now, you could mine in here too. All of these walls have been reinforced. However, there are a lot of ore tiles back in here, and you could mine from any of those. But I guess it could be convenient because you could just boat right in and mine to your heart's content and then bring it all back. But if you're like me, then you'll want your own mine. And I'm not sure whose boat this is. And I'm not sure if there was ever a mine here or not. As I mentioned, if you go up the bridge, there is a mine up here. Or actually, wrong spot. Up here. I'll go up this bridge so you can get a view from above here in a minute. But it seems to me like perhaps there used to be a mine entrance over here, because look at all the rock surface over here. If not, it seems like a convenient place to put one. Now, I don't know if the mechanics of mine are affected by bridges or not. I don't think they are, so I think you could just pretty much pick any one of these you wanted and tunnel in. Look at all the enchanted grass. If you like livestock, then you're already set. So, of course, we've already passed up a bunch of clay. I don't think there is, actually, I think there might be some clay down here, come to think of it. I'm not going to run down and check, but I think there might be some clay down there. If not, we already passed a ton of clay back there, and it's not too far away. You could just go in with a boat or a cart and load it up and bring it all back. So I'll just head up this bridge so you can get a bird's eye view. It's a pretty decent deed, and it's not huge, but it's a decent size. Of course, when you have a smaller deed, then it's cheaper. This looks like a 1 silver deed to me, and what I mean by that is 1 silver a month in upkeep, because that's about a 20 by 25, something like that. The nice thing about a small deed like that is you can drop 12 silver into your token and go take a long break if you want, and a year later, you don't have to log in until a year later just to make sure that your deed is still there. Not bad. Not a bad deed. But not mine. Of course, there's this area up here too that's all been flattened. I don't know if I like these extreme slopes, but I guess if you didn't like them, you could always smooth them out simply by digging on the edges here. Or you could do something with this up here. And getting lots of little lag spikes. I don't know if that's Xanadu or if it's my computer though. But I've been getting right at around between 50 and 60 frames. I don't know. Anyway, it looks kind of nice from up here. I'll head up here and I'll show you this mine. I think, by the way, I mentioned this once before in another video. I think someone may have built a lighthouse there once and maybe it decayed. You can't tell from here, but this is above the water level, just barely. And I think it's 5 tiles. I think it's 4 connected and then 1 sticking out. So it seems to me like maybe they had a 4-tile wide lighthouse and then maybe an empty tile to land a boat on. I don't know. Or maybe they wanted to do it but never got around to it. And here's the mine. And it goes, like I said, it goes way back, but I'm pretty sure it's collapsed. I have cleared some of the collapsed tiles, but I kept encountering more, and I got kind of tired of trying to clear them out, so I stopped. And then here is another view. Most of the stuff here has been looted too. Everything that you see is stuff that's nailed to the ground, so to speak. I do know, however, of a deed that's not right on the lake. It's a little bit inland, but still in the neighborhood. And I think that's a scorpion way over there. But it has a ton of stuff there. It's not the easiest thing to get away or to get to. So I think this is a 4-speed horse, and I can't do anything with it because it's branded or owned or something. I tried to find the owner too, but I think they're inactive. Can you get a bird's eye view from... No, there's too many trees to get a bird's eye view of this other deed. Well, that's okay. So those are the only 3 RDOs up here in this little corner. And actually, maybe you can go up here. No, the trees and the hill is going to be in the way. This is the larger deed. That one back there is the smaller deed. I think they're both nice. Of course, you don't have to accept how it's terraformed. You could completely change it into something very different, or you could just edit it here and there a little bit, any way you saw fit, just like you can anywhere in Wurm. Anywhere, of course, that isn't settled by someone else. All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. That's all that I wanted to show you. This is just this tiny area right here. Actually, it's just this area right here. And there are other locations throughout. And my aim here is to eventually show you all of them. Just keep in mind that if I show you one that has stuff there that hasn't been looted yet, then, and if you want that stuff that's still there, then you may want to act quickly, because looters do not waste time in their recycling efforts. But I think most of these deeds that are abandoned have been abandoned for quite a while. But I'll do some more videos. Do keep in mind, however, that I will be joining the new server, which is coming up in less than a week. So I'll probably be spending most of my Wurm Online time on the new server. I do intend to keep my deed here on Xanadu, and as you know, my character as well. But I may end up playing that server more than this one. Or I may end up disliking the server very much, and I might just come running back to Xanadu and completely forgetting the new server. I don't know what to expect yet. I can't make any decisions yet until I've experienced the new server. Either way, at first, I will definitely be spending most of my time on Wurm Online on the other server. But if there is a specific type of deed you're looking for, or spot for a deed, I guess I should say, in terms of whether you want to be next to the water, or if you want to be, really high up, or if you want to be near other people, or if you want to be a recluse, let me know. You can send me a message in game. You can also send me a message on Discord. You can also leave a comment here on YouTube if you want, and tell me what it is you're looking for. Because I know a lot of the RDOs here around Hammer Lake, and if I know of anything that matches what you're looking for, then I'll help you out. I'll help you find it, get to it. I'm not asking for anything. I just like to help people out a little bit every once in a while, which is a lot easier to do in a game than it is to do in real life. Because in real life, helping people out usually means giving up money. In Wurm Online, it just means spending a little bit of time. That's it for now. Oh, wow, look at that. Under 35 minutes by some miracle. Cool. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.